entitled Patriarchal and Racist White Women Are Danger to All, Not Just Women of Color, but to white women too. Majority of white women can feel very uncomfortable when I start talking about race, but deconstructing racism that are deeply embedded in their families helps to understand their own life better, helps to understand the abuse that they endured, the narcissistic family dynamics that they often talk about, and the problems that they have with their white husbands and boyfriends too. White women who cannot take accountability and culturally appropriate by entering POC spaces to leverage white supremacism for their whiteness to carry them, other POC to see them as significant and interesting, which is a kind of accolade that they will never experience in their own white communities. Those kinds of white people are actually very dangerous to other white people too. These are the women that compete and betray the hardest other white women. Here's the reality. The best way for white women to understand whiteness and abuse, to understand patriarchy in their own lives, is to learn from somebody who is a non-white person, who is very westernized, who has proximity to whiteness, who has also decolonized. In my almost 8 years of coaching experience, I found that white women don't even understand each other that well. They certainly do not understand white men, and I don't come from a condescending place. It's more so because it is so normalized, they're unable to get an outside perspective from someone who's close to the inside perspective too. Because of the way I look, because of my upbringing, I've always been welcome in white spaces, especially with white women, have always been in my community. This week's YouTube video is a letter to white women, which will help white women understand whiteness from a totally different perspective in a way that is going to heal them, and also help women of color as well. Because let's face it, oftentimes women of color, we talk about how white women are our biggest enemies. But at the same time, I had a lot of great experiences and have received great mentorship from white women too. Let's hold this delicate subject carefully in our hands, like we're holding something precious, and actually have a conversation. Head to my YouTube for a deep dive now.